Hi everyone, I am Father J. Boy Gonzalez. I'm a Jesuit priest and the director of the Ignatian Spirituality and Formation Office of the Ateneo de Davao University. The prayer that we will use is called a preparatory prayer. It is taken from the spiritual exercises of Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Jesuits usually use this prayer to begin classes, meetings, spiritual activities, and events. It says that whatever we do should begin and end through God. And that is exactly what we want and hope for in this activity. May I ask the Catholics to mark themselves with the sign of the cross, while the others might put themselves in their own proper disposition. And so, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, Amen. Dear Lord, we ask you to help orient all our actions by your holy inspirations. Carry them out by your gracious assistance, that every prayer and work of ours may always begin from you and through you be happily ended. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Enjoy this event.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiging nagsasinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang lang matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pamay di magtitindig, lupa ng araw ng walhagis pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
All right. Pleasant afternoon to each and everyone. We'd like to welcome you here in the 10th episode of the ISFO entitled One with the Environment and Peace in Mindanao. And I'd like to say also good afternoon to my co-host, Miss Sharon. Hello there, Miss Sharon.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sir Dale.
Yes, so we're actually social studies teachers from the junior high school, so we're very glad to be with you. We'd like to honor everyone who is here. We'd like to really appreciate your deliberate choice to be here with our program this afternoon. And we hope that you'll be able to learn a lot from our speakers and just simply enjoy the process. Isn't that right, Miss Sharon?
Yes, indeed, Sir Dale. So again, we are live from Facebook and YouTube ngayon. So again, I'm Miss Sharon Mir Imperial. I'm a social studies teacher in junior high school, and I'm one of the hosts this afternoon. So I'm so excited for this afternoon's activity or program.
Yes, tama ka dyan, Miss Sharon. Excited na excited si Miss Sharon. It's because, it's the dream of every Mindanaoan to live in peace and unity. And I believe Miss Sharon is very much inspired by that idea. And our discussion this afternoon is actually going to circle around that topic. And of course, ang ating programa ngayong hapon very much aligned with the vision of the university, which is social justice and environmental protection. Isn't that right, Miss Sharon?
Yes. And also, I would like to inform pala, Sir Dale, our viewers this afternoon na may pa-contest tayo later. So
Wow.
again, yes. So again, good afternoon pala sa lahat ng mga viewers natin, especially the junior high school and the entire Ateneo de Davao University.
Hello.
our teachers and parents tuning as well. So, welcome. I hope you learned a lot this afternoon.
Yes, in addition to what Miss Sharon said, no, perhaps it would be good that you're going to invite your friends to watch our program this afternoon. The more, the merrier. And of course, we're going to learn a lot and we are really going to have fun. All right, so I guess our participants and our viewers are very much ready to meet our speakers for this afternoon. So at this point, dear friends, we'd like to introduce our speakers. Um, we have here the Parish Social Action Center Community Representative of Banay Banay. We'd like to introduce, of course, Sir Rudolph Espe. Let's give him a virtual round of applause, please. There you go. And we'd just like to inform our audience that Sir Rudolph is at this point having difficulties with his signal. So I hope ayan na si Sir Rudolph. All right. So, kasi it's raining, I think everyone's aware that it's raining. So, medyo ang signal ni Sir Rudolph, medyo na, it's really not that strong. All right. But I guess it's doing well and we are so happy. And Miss Sharon, who is our next speaker?
Okay, Sir Dale. For our next speaker, we have Miss Fatima Pulin Malate. So Miss Fatima Pulin Malate is our Ateneo Junior High School alumna, and she's also sales and business development executive of the Reactor School. So again, let's welcome again Miss Fatima or Miss Ima Pauline Malate. Let's give Miss Malate, Miss Ima rather, Miss Ima a round of applause, a virtual round of applause, everyone.
Hello, Ima. So she also
Hi.
comes from the Ateneo de Davao Junior High School. It's nice meeting you again. And of course, we have here our third speaker for this afternoon, the Senior Program Manager of the Civic Peace Service 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to Miss Karine Widmer. There you go. Hello, Miss Karine. Hello there. So eto na po, and we are very happy na very strong ang signal ng ating mga speakers. We're very much excited
Yes.
about their inputs this afternoon. So, Miss Sharon, shall we begin?
Yes, sir. So let's begin with our. I'm so excited to hear their insight this afternoon because this topic this afternoon is very close to my heart. So I'm really excited to hear their thoughts, their insight about this topic. And for our first question, now I would like to ask our speaker this very personal question. What motivate you, no, or what motivate them, or why did they choose this path?
Yes. Nako, and the answers that we're going to get this afternoon might really change the lives of our viewers because, you know, these people are very passionate with what they're doing. So, eto na po, who's gonna answer first? Any volunteer? Parang klase lang. Walang mag-volunteer. Sige, ako na mag-volunteer. Ayan, si Miss Karine. Yes, Miss Karine.
Sige, yes, I can start. First of all, good morning. As you might see, I'm not in Mindanao right now. It's morning. I'm here in Switzerland. So good morning to everyone and to the audience, or rather, mayong hapon to Davao. Yes, it is a topic that is indeed also close to my heart. And you are absolutely right. It's a passionate topic. I'd like to connect this to what you shared in the beginning. It's this promotion of social justice, and also to better understand now from different backgrounds, to live together on that same world. No, we are being hosted by Mother Earth, so it's also our responsibility to take care of it. And I truly believe that each and every one of us can contribute to creating this world of justice and inclusion and peacefulness in our very own little ways. if I may add just one little story that I usually like to share is when I was living in Mindanao from 2016 and 2021, I was working very closely with indigenous peoples. And one chief once approached me and asked me, Karin, why are you here in that place? It could be dangerous for you. So I was sharing him my motivation and inspiration to be part of this journey of peace, no? And at the end of that, he shook my hand and he said, Miss Karin, thank you for giving us hope, for taking us serious. That gives me the strength to continue what I'm doing. So my passion and also the reason why I'm joining today is that I really think no matter where we are in our world, we are all on the same place, Mother Earth, and we can contribute in taking care of this. Yun lang. Salamat po.
Beautiful, beautiful answer, which reminds me of the word coming from my favorite author, Wayne Dyer. We are environment organisms. We are organisms who cannot survive without the earth. And it's our responsibility to really take care of it. Diba, Miss Sharon?
Yes, I absolutely agree, Sir Dale, no? I'm very touched nung sinabi, the passion, no? Despite the risk, pero because of the passion, no? Passion in action. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Miss Sharon. At eto, can we have Sir Rudolph to share his answer? What motivated you, sir, to be in this work?
Unang-una sa lahat, good afternoon, no? So, sa lahat ng viewers natin, okay lang ba yung audio? Naririnig niyo ba?
Yes, sir.
Kasi masyadong malakas dito yung ulan. Eh. Wala ko marinig bang background. Nahirapan
Okay.
ako. To answer that particular question is, ganito yan, what makes, ano bang nangyari? Bakit yung mga reason behind na nag-motivate sa akin para pumasok sa ganitong interaction with sa mga nangyayari sa paligid natin, usually actually dito sa amin ngayon, dati kasi I am also particularly sa environment. I am working with a certain logging company, particularly in operating in Cotabato, South Maguindanao Province, Lanao Sur. And then nakikita ko na naging mayaman yung may-ari ng company. Tapos bigla ring nawala lahat ng kayamanan niya. Pero sa nangyayari sa ginawa namin during that time, actually, yung edad ko dati, parang 18 years old pa ako noon. Kagraduate ko lang ata ng high school, tapos pumasok talaga doon. Hanggang yun, nakikita ko na, I feel really guilty. When the news, makikita ko doon na hanggang sa ngayon, sa kapanahonan na ito, yung naging sanhi o naging rason ng mga massive flooding na kuminsan kumikitil ng buhay sa mga kapatid natin doon sa lugar na yon is nasasaktan talaga ako. Kasi parang nafe-feel ko na merong guilt within me na naging kaparti ako sa mga ganon na pangyayari sa ngayon. So nakikita ko na yung pera nawawala. Yung kayamanan na makukuha natin nawawala. Lalong-lalo na sa pag-destroy ng ating environment through logging, through mining, ano-ano pa. Pero but the bad effect hanggang ngayon, ano na bang edad ko, 48 na, hanggang ngayon makikita ko sa television, sa mga news, kaya bago nga lang nangyari, ang daming namamatay. No? So masakit. So ito ngayon ang nag-udyok sa akin na talagang siguro kung nagkamali ako sa kabataan ko noon, na pumasok ako ngayon sa simbahan, ito ang pinili ko na maging para man lang kabayaran sa mga actually, di naman sa akin yun, pero parang I really feel guilty. So naging parang sabi ko, ako mismo ako ang isang tao na pwedeng tatayo dito kasi ako ang maka-explain kung ano at ang hikahihinatnan kung ipagpatuloy natin ito. At saka ito rin ang naging isang sanhi ng kaguluhan kung minsan. Kasi magkaiba lang ideology ng tao, yung iba gusto, yung ibang hindi. Kaya sinasabi ko, lahat ng ito lilipas. We are all transient in this world, no? Kaya pag-ingatan natin, kung mahal natin yung mga anak natin, yung mga kaapu-apuhan natin balang araw, alagaan natin yung iisang mundo na tinitirhan natin sa ngayon. Yun lang po.
Beautiful. Your story, Sir Rudolph, is a story of transformation. And while you were talking, there's this one line na nagpop out sa utak ko. From guilt to build. You want to rebuild. From guilt
Wow.
to build. Very inspiring. Thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure, no, marami ka pang i-share that would empower all of us. Diba, Miss Sharon?
Yes, so doon pa lang, start pa lang tayo, sir, pero napaka-inspiring na ng simula natin, no? So, very moving masyado. Okay, so at this point, let us hear naman po, no, from Miss Ima about her thought. Ano ba yung naging motivation niya? Why did you choose this path? Miss Ima?
Okay, hello, good afternoon. Clear naman, no? Yes, okay. So I think for me personally, it started back in college. So I think nung nasa high school nga ako as part of ADDUJHS, I was more towards arts and I guess performing. But then when I went to college, um, I think it was more of like me being able to discover that um there is more, not naman that I'm quite, parang, oh, I have to leave this aspect of myself, but it's more on, I was able to discover that I could do so much more things with being able to develop myself. So I was able to join an organization that was helping communities within Davao City. And then with that, it led me to have this, I guess, parang youth empowerment aspect that I realized that there's so much more that the youth can do. And personally, parang the vision I had for myself, or the statement that I am trying to live up for, is really living a life that is of use to others. And so having that parang, statement, parang in everything that I do, I always try na with the skills that I have been able to learn, how can I share it with other people? And with the skills that I have, how can I empower even more people to even get the same opportunities that I have, so that they can even help more people? So I guess that has been quite the journey that, meron ako. And even if I'm quite the youngest, I try as much as possible to earn or gain as many opportunities. So in the end, yun nga, that would lead to even helping more other people and inspiring them that if I was able to do it, then possibly they can do something for themselves with their personal advocacies as well. So ayun po.
Thank you, Ima. Another beautiful answer. And as I was listening to you, another line popped out. You have been empowered so that you could empower. Empowered to empower. All right.
Wow.
Diba, Miss
Ang dami
Sharon?
talagang ang dami talagang baon na quote ni Sir Dale ngayong hapon, 'no? Ang daming quotable quote. So, I agree with you, Sir Dale, 'no? Yung parang using your skills, 'no, and your opportunities to help those people na kailangan talagang tulungan. So, that's so
Yes.
inspiring and moving talaga. So, thank you, Ma'am Ima, Miss
Yes,
Ima.
and I think that's the story of all of them, no? That they have been blessed at some point, and they do not want to contain the blessing in their own field. They want to spread it. They want to spread it, and I hope the same thought is going on in the minds of our viewers this afternoon. So let's go to our next question, which is basically, about the nature of the work that you're doing. Gusto po naming makichismis sa inyong sa inyong mga advocacies. Yes. So, balik tayo siguro kay Miss Karine. So, we want to hear more about the work that you're doing at present.
Okay, thank you. I will start with what I did before what I'm doing at present. So if you allow me, as I shared before, between 2016 and 21, I was living and working in Mindanao. I was seconded as civil peace service advisor to support local peace building initiatives of Mindanaoan civil society, with the aim to contribute to inclusive and just peace. And now, as I mentioned before, I'm back in my home country, that is Switzerland. And I'm currently working as a program manager with a small NGO here in Switzerland that is called Peace Women Across the Globe. And I'm really glad and fortunate, I think, that I can continue contributing to peace and peace building activities in Mindanao, actually, in my new position, mainly by focusing on the full and equal inclusion of women in peace processes. So we are focusing mainly on the topic of it can be called transitional justice or transformative justice or dealing with the past. And it's definitely also with including all the peoples in Mindanao from the different backgrounds. And we are not implementing it from here, there, but we are, of course, and that's something I strongly believe in, working with local colleagues, partners on eye level. So it's this joint journey of peace, as I would always call it. So this is what I'm currently doing.
Wow, what I'm getting is that you're working locally so that you could affect things globally. Isn't that
Yes.
wonderful? Working locally to affect things
Exactly.
globally. There you go. Thank you very much, Miss Karine. Miss Sharon, any response to Miss Karine's nature of her work? Oo nga. Yes. Oh my. Miss Sharon is cut. Miss Karine, are you able to hear Miss Sharon?
I can hear her, but I think from behind you, but I can't hear
Oh,
really.
I see.
I'm not
I
sure,
see.
but
I see.
I could hear someone talking, but not the question. But
Okay.
maybe I can add on what you
Yes.
were saying, sir. As you said, working locally and contributing globally. What I always used to say and what I strongly believe in is that even a small contribution, no, I mean, I'm not going to make the world like a just and peaceful world in one activity or so, but Akko
Yes.
personally, I believe that even the smallest contribution can have a big impact on some people's life. So this is where I believe I can, with who I am, where I am, even if it's a small contribution, like the story I shared in the beginning with this chief, like even if my presence gives him hope to continue doing what he's doing with his community. So I believe now it's the same, like being here as passionate advocate for women's and girls' rights, for indigenous people's rights, and so on, no?
Yeah.
Can empower some people, and maybe, hopefully, I'm a very idealistic person, hopefully even some of the people who are watching and listening to us would feel like no matter
Yeah.
where we are in our
Right.
own capacities, which is
Yes.
important, no, we need to know also what we can contribute. This
Yes.
can support. And as you were saying before, like Miss Sharon was saying that we can help those who need help. I believe that people they are their own powers, no, their own resources. I don't think I know better than them what they need, but I can support in, for example, opening doors that they would get access to where they
True.
are not given access because of our
True.
world not yet being equally just or inclusive. So this is more how I see myself, really, as companion, as accompanying, as ally, but not as expert or knowing better, not at all. It's really
Yeah.
this joint journey, learning from each other. So sorry, that went a bit further than I thought, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to connect to this
Beautiful.
key sentence from before.
Yes. So just like, you're a conscious candle wanting to share your light, and the light is spreading slowly. The light is spreading slowly. Miss Sharon?
Yes. Yes, I'm back, no? Sorry, biglang na-cut off yung linya ko. But I've just heard, no, from Karina, tinuod, no, she mentioned about companionship. So in this journey, we need talaga companion. And
Yes.
as you said, sir, we have to share our skills, no, our knowledge, no. Hindi kailangan maging expert ka, no?
True.
Talaga.
That
Basta
is
if you
true.
have the heart,
That's
yun
true.
po.
In the
Thank
terms of
you.
other authors, it's all about your passion, and then your potential will actually be empowered. Ngayon, let's listen to Sir Rudolph. Sir.
Hello, yung sa akin po naman is, actually, parang naging personal advocacy ko na ito, maliban
Mm.
doon sa pagiging isang kaabag ko dati sa Visayan word, maybe the Bawing can understand that uh, lay ministers o sa inyo dyan parang PLAs yata yan. Actually, pumasok ako o naging personal na advocacy ako ito. Gawa ng naisipan ko na parang inisip ko doon na parang isang moral and spiritual obligation ko. Considering na ang problema ng kalikasan, so with yung pandaigdigan natin na kuan is talagang sabi nga ng isang speaker natin na kahit sa konting bagay, even the small contribution na magagawa natin, maybe we can encourage others na gagawin din yung ginagawa natin, no? Hindi natin actually hindi ko niisip na sa ganito ka simple na tao, walang pangalan, wala akong narating, pero sabi ko, paano kung walang kikilos? Lalong-lalo na dito sa yung sitwasyon namin ngayon. For the whole community of two barangays, Pintatagan and Pintalinaw, na the lives of people as stick dahil nga dyan sa pagmimina, dyan sa kabundukan namin. Kung walang iimik, paano na lang? So, parang naisip ko na isang malaking din, problema, gawa ng kung minsan pati yung buhay natin nalalagay sa peligro kasi para tayong isang langaw na bubangga ng isang kalabaw. Pero dahil sa pananalig natin sa may kapal, siguro hindi naman pabayaan kasi nagsisilbi din naman ako sa kanya. Yung ginawa ko is hindi naman para sa sarili ko lang, kundi para sa kapakanan ng mga mamamayan, yung mga kapitbahay ko, yung mga kaibigan ko, na posibleng yung buhay ay malagay sa alanganin o sa peligro. Kaya ng sinabi ko noon, nasasaktan nga ako, ang layo-layo ng Cotabato, hanggang ngayon naranasan nila yung mga ginagawa namin. So, paano? Kung hindi ako lalabas, hindi ako mag-ingay, alam ko makukonsensya din ako. I have the capacity. I have somehow the ability na banggain kahit sa parang nga sabi ko nga parang langaw na bumangga ng isang kalabaw. But actually, parang maging panawagan na rin sa iba. Kasi yung karamihan kasi ng tao is takot. Lalo na malaking company yung binangga natin. Alam na natin yung kapanahonan ngayon. Makapangyarihan yung pera. Ika nga, sabi nila. But I still believe na mas makapangyarihan yung pinanghahawakan yung Panginoon ko na andito sa likuran ko na handang ipaglaban at protektahan hindi lamang ako kundi pati yung mga kapitbahay, mga kaibigan at kababayan ko na pinuprotektahan ko dahil sa ginagawa ko ito.
Wow, sir. Is that all, Sir Rudolph? No, we admire your faith. We admire your yes. It's not that easy.
So,
no,
maisip
pero
ko,
grabe good.
Para bang sa lahat-lahat binigyan ako ng ganito.
Ayan. Nagsasalita pa ba si Sir Rudolph? Okay, thank you. Maraming salamat, Sir Rudolph.
Okay lang ba yung audio?
Very inspiring. Yes, ayan, medyo choppy lang po. But most of the words naman were heard. Thank you.
Yes.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Rudolph.
Yes.
Miss Sharon?
Yes, thank you, Sir Rudolph. And while listening to Sir Rudolph, alala ko yung season of creation this year na parang si Sir Rudolph naging bosses siya, no? To those voiceless,
Yes.
no? So
Yes,
parang, yun na nga, I remember na, listen to the voice of the creations and he became an instrument na tulungan yung mga hindi kayang ipaglaban yung
Wonderful.
kanilang mga rights. So thank you for that, Sir Rudolph.
And that is the very essence of social justice. Diba, Sharon? Social
Yes,
justice. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, sir. Good.
Yes. And at this point, of course, let's listen to our third speaker, Ima.
Yes. So I think for me, how I started, or at least with the nature of the work that I do, no. So, other than my work, talaga, I do have a project. So my passion project is more towards the indigenous people, the Atamanobos in Talaingod. So how I came about that was back in 2020, during the time of the pandemic, I was volunteering for a research that was done by my professor in college, and then he was researching about women in conflict afflicted areas. How do they feel about it? And so timing, it was in the same area as well. And so I think as time went by, parang I got to be close with more people in the community, and I guess that arose some sort of um, siguro engagement or interest to know more about what is happening really in the community. And so that's why I had Project ALAP. But Project ALAP is really towards improving quality education, having it really culture context with the IP education. And I guess for me, basically what I realized with working with them is that there's so much more that we can actually learn from them, or they can actually also learn from us. Sometimes with IPs, right, parang we tend to always think that um, parang we're quite ahead of where or how their what their practices are. But sometimes we also ask ourselves, aren't we also too way ahead of our time, right? Because what we're trying to do now, and as what Sir Rudolph has mentioned, we're parang those very natural resources that are trying to protect us, those practices that we're doing now, trying to improve, being more, I guess, progressive in some way, also destroys the quality of life that we have now. And
Mhm.
so I think with that, parang all of those different things eventually affect the underprivileged. And I can't deny that it's also them that are really underprivileged, because some of the opportunities, of course, are not very much open or accessible to them. And at the same time, all the things that we're trying to do also affects them, because there are also parang areas or areas na parang pwede nating makuha sa kanila, or they can be taken advantage of. And so for me, honestly, that experience and what I'm trying also to do with the project is for, I guess, people like us and more people, I guess, to be immersed. Most especially, I guess, also this is a call for a lot of our leaders to be more immersed and be aware of the effects of what we are doing. Because at the end of the day, we're very interconnected, and everything that we do is very
True.
intergenerational. So yeah.
That is so true. So Ima's work is more of consciousness expansion, awareness for the people, and that's really wonderful. And lahat naman, no, for Miss Karine, for Sir Rudolph, and for Miss Ima, they all acknowledge the fact that all of us, we do have an effect. Every decision that we make, we affect others, and they're very passionate about that, right, Miss Sharon?
Yes, and let me pick also that ano yung mentioned by Miss Ima yung about immersion. So I think very important na, and we're very grateful na sa Ateneo we have this immersion, because through immersion we become aware of what is really happening, no? Kasi doon lang natin parang ma-move tayo kung ano dapat natin gawin. So we're very fortunate, no, that we have institution, or our school, no, is giving us opportunity to immerse to these communities. So thank you, Miss Ima, for that, sharing
Thank
for
you, Miss
that
Sharon.
story.
Other Jesuits would call that as the felt experience. We need to have a felt experience so that we can know how to respond. Ayan. And this is
Wow,
what's exactly happening.
field
And
experience. I like that.
yes, yes, thank you. And let's now move on to our third question. Unless maidadagtag pa ang ating mga speakers. Okay na tayo? Yes. So, Miss Sharon, can you please read to them the next question?
This question naman is about the fight, no, for in the environment, no. So, how to fight for the environment peacefully, no? Because we pwedeng tayong ano, no, we can fight for the environment, but in your own opinion po, no, and especially sa line niyo po ng inyong mga advocacies, what do you think po, how can we fight for our environment peacefully? So can we hear from our speakers about their thought? Can we hear from Miss Ima? Is it okay, Ma'am Ima, to share about what's your thought about how to fight for the environment peacefully?
I think for me personally, in terms of um, fighting for the environment peacefully, it's quite hard to actually do or to fight peacefully, especially when I guess yung mga kalaban mo is of course against powerful people,
Yes.
and at the same time, yes, basically much more powerful people. No? Ano naman yung, in a way, sometimes we ask ourselves, ano naman yung laban natin with them, no? But I think what I'm learning now and what we continue to teach, especially with having joined, for example, I'm part of a fellowship which is part of youth led, and they always try to tell us that even if you're young, even if hindi ka man, let's say, nasa position, but you have a voice and you should make or utilize that voice. And I think with that one simple voice, you can do something about that could eventually lead to ripple effects. And so I think one thing that we can actually do is that as simple as being able to talk within your own circles, fight looking for allies that actually believe in the same advocacy as you have, and really looking for people that could help you push forward yung advocacy mo na yun. So I don't think that, of course, parang imbalance in some way, but I know that there will be people, especially people in power, that can eventually help you if you just um, maybe push through and really talk to them with regards to what you want to happen. And so, how does environment work contribute to cultivating peace in Mindanao? I think so much, right? The basic parang essence of our identity as in Mindanao is we are a land of parang abundance, right? We're rich in, I guess, biodiversity and a lot more. And I think having to really strengthen our policies in terms of environment, and at the same time really educating a lot more people with regards to how to protect our environment could help cultivate peace in Mindanao. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Miss Ima. What I'm getting from her answer is that you try to bloom where you're planted. You start with your friends, ganun, whatever you could do with where you are, whatever is given to us. No? And with that simple gesture, with that simple action, as you've always say, magre-ripple effect siya. It will have an effect, especially that your intentions are pure. We know that the universe, God will always bless those who have pure intentions. Diba, Miss Sharon?
Yes, no, I believe, sir, it starts with intention, and that intention will be translated to action.
Yeah.
So, yun na nga, importante na we have this consciousness, no, or intention. And of course, as mentioned by Miss Ima, no, importante that we have to look for people to help us push
Mm-hmm.
our advocacy, no, look for our allies. And I think Miss Karine mentioned that earlier, no, looking for allies, and we are all allies, no. So yun,
It's
that's
true.
something that's very important.
And when we're clear with our vision, it's easier to look for allies. They will just, easily get attracted to us, and you will get easily attracted to them. And that's how everything will play. And now let's listen to the answer of Miss Karine.
Yes, thank you. I can actually just highlight on what Miss Ima has said. I completely share with her reflection. Although I want to add one point, besides being by ourselves a role model and finding our allies, I would personally think that we also should be stubborn and loud so that those who are not yet our allies could be convinced by our advocacy, no? And as a peace builder, I wouldn't maybe use the word fighting for the environment, although it has its right, because in the sense of it is possible to fight in a peaceful way. I would say, like, it's more, for me, it's more engagement, but sometimes it might be that the peaceful way of fighting, as we can also see it with the indigenous peoples. No, for example, I've been working with an independent IP platform. They formed themselves and they call themselves Lumat Husay Mindanao. No, so I've been learning their way of doing the Husay, and I truly think that if more people, be it in Mindanao or the Philippines or the world, would know more also about traditional ways of resolving or settling conflicts that go beyond on our known ways, we could learn from each other, and that goes again into this joint journey of peace. No, I know I'm repeating myself a bit, but for me, it's really been that learning from these other ways of settling is also opening my own perspective, and it also has an impact on the environment. And what Sir Rudolph has been sharing before, not only recently, there has been this typhoon in Mindanao, the Paeng, and it has had serious, horrible effects, especially also again on the poorest of the poor, the indigenous peoples, like, for example, the landslide in Kushong, where so many people died. So yes, we can help in the sense of humanitarian help. Like, even from far, I was able to donate some money to support them for example, the mobile kitchen they have. But I can also continue doing what I've been doing, which is making them heard, because why have they been affected? No, they have been displaced before. So it again goes into this long-term peace building that should not be forgotten by natural or human-made disasters, where humanitarian help is very needed, but it's also needed that they are finally being included in all those peace processes in the broad sense, not just not narrowing it down into peace negotiations, just to make that clear. So for that, what I think how each and every one of us can engage for environment peacefully is to listen, to listen, to watch, to learn, but then also to Ako, I usually said that I'm like the amplifier of their voices, because for me, they are not the voiceless ones, not at all, because they all have their voices. Each of us has a voice. Even if we cannot talk, we still have a way of expressing. It's just that they are not being heard. And why? Because of the structural inequalities or on the attitude behavior. So of key people or many people, depends. No, so I can support them in them being heard, with them giving more platforms, maybe, or possibilities or access to voice what the issues are. So, and this is also when we that's how I see the environmental engagement in the broad sense, no? And I do truly believe that one key aspect is what Miss Imma has said, and actually also Sir Rudolph, that's the immersion, no? It's really by immersion we would also be able to open our own perspectives and see beyond. And this is so needed. It means that we go out of our comfort zones. And this might be challenging, no? But for me, as you said before, I think it was you, Sir Dale, that the felt experience helps us how to respond. I think that's really, really crucial. And for that, active listening and careful watching, just observing, not interpreting, observing, learning is so crucial. And there, I think, for me, also one key moment of realization in my own transformation, because I would call my own journey of peace a journey of transformation, was the moment where I was also with this group of independent IP advocates, and there was some sort of a conflict or interaction, and then they were applying their own way, this Husay principle. And then I was suddenly there, and I suddenly realized, wow, as peace builders, we learn those tools like nonviolent communication and all these tools that we would use. And I was observing this situation and realized, wow, what they are doing, it is what we call the nonviolent communication with the whole structure, but they do it by themselves since ever, no? Of course, it also evolves because culture is nothing static, it's dynamic. Luckily, all the things evolve, and this is where everything comes together, that we learn from each other as everything is evolving. No, things are not the same, luckily, anymore as 100 years ago, but we are also at the moment, as human beings on this Mother Earth, we are not really realizing that we are just being hosted, and we are not really taking care enough by it. So, but to not put too much pressure on ourselves, I think that's what Sir Rudolph has been mentioning, and also Miss Ima. What we can really do is be by ourselves a role model in behaving the way how we can take care of this environment that is hosting us.
Beautiful. Thank you, Miss Karine. So it's really all about the dynamism of communication. At times you have to observe, you have to listen. And if you're not listened to, you have to be loud at some point. And of course, the greatest message is, of course, our behavior, who we are. That's we transmit to others. And definitely
Yes.
it will influence others. Right, Miss Sharon?
Yes, 'no? Kaya nga 'di ba sir, yung parang nagsisimula talaga sa atin, 'no? We cannot really, dictate someone to change or to change our environment, 'no?
Right?
We have to start, 'no, from within. So yun yung
Yes.
pinaka I think isa din sa importante.
We can only show the best of what we could do with our lives and hope that they would be able to follow. All right. And I
Yes.
think we also would want to listen to the answer of Sir Rudolph. Sir, yung question po natin about peacefully fighting for our environment. I hope okay na ang signal ni Sir Rudolph. Sir, are you able to hear us?
Okay. Sa side po
Ayan.
ng simbahan, bilang yun po yung nari yes, yes, yes. Yes. Ako, how about me? Okay lang yung kwan ko? Yes, sir. Okay lang, marinig nyo?
Loud and clear,
Yes,
Sir
sir.
Rudolph.
Marinig
Yes,
nyo po
sir.
ba?
Narinig po, sir.
Okay. Bilang kaparte po ng kwan, ng simbahan, we siyempre maririnig okay. Sa parte po ng simbahan, bilang yun ang ngayon ang sa aking part is we strongly believe the power of prayers, of course.
Amen.
Kaya para maging peaceful yung pakikipagbaka o pakikipaglaban for the sake of our environment. Yung simbahan mismo ay gumawa ng hakbang na yung taos-pusong pagdarasal. Kaya nga nung nakaraang buwan, nagkaroon kami ng malawakang parang Rosary Crusade within the diocese parish level namin na apektado talaga. At least para mapukaw naman yung atensyon ng tao na yung nakikita namin na moral and spiritual obligation natin papunta sa ating inang kalikasan o sa buong daigdig talaga in general, hindi lang nakasalalay sa amin, ang obligasyon na ito ay pangkalahatan. Kasi hindi man lang ako o yung nakaramdam ng global climate change, yung ganon na grabe na changes ng panahon natin, but this particular problem is globally. Kaya nga may kasabihan tayo na yung sakit ng kalingkingan, yung sakit ng buong katawan. So, we must not be a part of the problem, but kaya nga sabi ko, kahit sa kaliit na bagay na magawa natin, kahit kung nung una ako lang muna ang nag-iisa, at least pumasok yun, sumali na yung simbahan, umalalay na yung simbahan sa panawagan, sinuportahan na rin, at dumating din ang panahon yung Ecoteneo, sumuporta na rin yung ibang mga NGO. So, kung hindi naumpisahan yan, walang mangyayari eh. Kaya, through prayers, siguro kunti-kunti, dahan-dahan darating din ang panahon na yung pinaglaban natin is magkaroon ng justice. No?
Okay.
Kagaya na, yun nga ang sabi ng iba, kagaya ng pandemic, hindi pwede na yung isang mayamang bansa siya lang ang maging secure, no? At pabayaan natin yung mga walang pera o nasa baba na mga bansa. Kasi wala ring mangyari kasi iisang mundo lang ginagalawan natin, iisang mundo lang tinitirhan natin. Yung problema ng mga bansang walang kakayahan na suportahan yung health ng kanilang tao, immunize lahat.
Ayan, medyo naputol si Sir Rudolph.
Na kung hindi
Ayan.
yung ibang lugar, kayong nadyan na walang lugar na walang mina, hindi kayo kasi hindi naman kami kasali dyan kasi wala namang mina sa amin. But sad to say, apektado rin lahat. Kaya I encourage everyone na hindi ko laban ito.
Ayan, okay. All right. So we don't want this, but this is something that we cannot control. Naputol po yung signal ni Sir Rudolph. But anyway, to transition to the questions of our audience, I'd just like to end this segment of our program by emphasizing some points ni Sir Rudolph. No, he emphasized something about grace. So most of the topics that we have been discussing is more on action, but I'd like to point out the role of grace, the role of surrender, the role of God, the role of the church, or whatever religion it is that you have, in empowering us in this work for the environment and in this work for peace. So, yun lang. Miss Sharon?
Yes, so indeed, Sir Dale, no, yung parang participation talaga ng simbahan din, no, our grace and our faith, no, so with our religious belief, whatever religious belief is helpful, no, to really push our advocacy to protect our environment in a peaceful way. So that's a nice move, no, kasi we're talking about how we can protect, no, or advocate peace, no,
Yes.
protecting the environment in a peaceful way. Ayan, so
Yeah. It will be very difficult for these things to get accomplished if we are all not going to surrender to the grace of God, however you conceive God to
yes,
be. And now, no, although we have still a lot of questions here, but we'd like to listen to some of the questions of our audience this afternoon.
yes.
Ayan. Miss
Yan.
Glyza May del Mundo. Miss Sharon, you might want to read the question.
Yes, so from Ms. Glyza May del Mundo, as a development communication student, I would like to ask, how do we immerse ourselves to the grassroots level without offending them? So, bitaw, no? Kasi in my, so this is a nice question. So I would like to ask either Miss Karin ba or si Miss Ima to answer this question. I would like to ask, how do we immerse ourselves to do the grassroots level without offending them? Kasi baka na-offend sila, no, with our immersion or ano ba. So paano kaya ito speakers, no? Ma'am Karine or Miss Ima? Any thoughts po about this question?
Yes, well, already this question shows respect, and I think that's the key word. Showing respect, being interested, being open to immerse, not being afraid of making mistakes. I do think in my 6 years of being part of the lives in Mindanao, not only with indigenous peoples, no, but I was also doing mistakes or behaving in a way that could be interpreted as offense, but that doesn't always need to be something negative. No, in peace building, we say conflict is not per se negative. It can be a motor for positive change. I think what is really crucial is to be respectful towards the human beings, no, not only towards the indigenous peoples if you immerse in a community with them, but everyone, no, wherever you go. If I'm a mountaineer and mountain biker and trail runner, so I also immerse in nature. So it's my responsibility to take care of where I immerse. Me being in a community already means intervention, no? And an intervention always has impacts. So my goal is to minimize the negative impacts and to maximize the positive ones. But for this, self-reflection is needed. And this, what I call as a tool in anthropology, the tool we call it participatory or observation. So really active listening, showing interest, learning, asking questions. No, that's also a form of showing interest and respect. And then be open enough to also open your own perception of what you've learned before. That means we also, being the ones immersing, we also need to relearn what we've learned before, no? And very important in all of this is really to have this as a joint journey and to not fall into the trap of this. It's a bit a difficult expression, I know that, but not positive discrimination. So it's not, I sometimes observe, like especially around Kadayawan or so, that, oh wow, IPCS, they told me also, you know, they always call us when they need someone to dance or to sing or to show cultural richness, but that's not respectful. There's so much more. No, it's being interested in their daily lives, in their needs, in their interests, in understanding them. And so that's what I think is crucial, this self-reflection, this openness to relearn and to really listen and watch and feel.
Wow. Respect for the human beings that they are, and not just what they could give, not just what they could do, but for the being that they are. Beautiful.
Yes,
Thank you, Miss
Wow.
Eva.
and the same with the environment. No, it goes the same with the nature. Let's take us care of the environment.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Eva. Miss, sorry. It's
Okay.
okay. No, we are one. We are one.
Unity.
Yun.
Yes.
Okay, let's
Thank you
hear
very
from
much.
Miss Ima.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, no, with what Miss Karine has mentioned. I think respect is really the first thing that we should have really going into a different, I guess, community or just wanting to learn from them. And I think just to add on that, especially as students, no, I think a lot of us, you know, have preconceived notions. But I think also what Miss Karina has mentioned, we have to be open to learning. But as we also are open to learning and asking questions, being curious about, you know, how they are and what can we also learn from them. I think it's also an aspect of opening ourselves to them, because as they open themselves to us, I think we could gain trust when we open ourselves more. And I think that's when the parang we can avoid offending them at that I guess journey, when you eventually share with them, you know, who you really are, and at the same time what you're passionate about, what your intention is going into that community, and learning from them what it is that you want to learn and why is this important for you. And I think just to also share, because I think this is very important, you know, as students, sometimes we look for communities and eventually organizations to, you know, help and have projects with or for, right? One thing that I've learned throughout my journey as well is having that bridging leadership concept, wherein while you have ownership towards probably seeing a problem, you have to create that co-ownership with them, na hindi lang ikaw yung nakakaisip ng problema, but it's also them seeing and also sharing with you that this is the problem that we see within our community. And I think with that, that's when projects become more sustainable, because it's not you being an outsider trying to tell them that this is what problem we should fix, but rather you're telling them that together I see what the problem is, and let's do it together in a way, because with that, we then eventually build a community and again become allies. Na what my perspective is of the problem is the same perspective that this community actually sees, and this is the priority for them. And me being an outsider, I respect that. And so with that, let's work together to make sure that we do something about it. There.
All right, there you go. Collaborative understanding with the collaborative action. Ayan. Thank you. Sir Rudolph, you might want to answer our third
Lolo.
question.
Pasensya na
As
po,
it,
nawawala minsan ha.
Hi. Sir, actually, the question po is, how would I like to ask, and they would like to ask, how do we immerse ourselves po daw to grassroots levels without offending them? Like in your community po, how can we immerse no, in your community or dun sa, kung saan man kayo without offending them, sir? Immersing ourselves no, to the grassroots, especially dun mismo sa community niyo, sir, without offending them.
Okay.
Hello, Sir Rudolph?
Okay, yung unang-una para sa akin is hindi natin ita-touch yung parang personal. Hindi niya marinig. Hindi niya parinig.
putol-putol po.
Walang audio.
Putol-putol. Meron, pero pag ganun-ganon.
Meron audio.
Ayan na, okay na po, sir. Okay, sir.
Hina talagang signal.
Opo.
Parang lalapit tayo sa kanila na nakikita natin na tayo ay mas nakakaalam sa kanila. Kundi i-level natin yung sarili natin sa every economic na mga topics. Yung purely biblical po. Kayo, pag-usapan natin is Biblia, yung mga obligasyon natin bilang tao dito sa handahan yan, malalaman at maintindihan niya na tayo ay binigay ng nating itong pangangalagaan. Bilang nagmamahal tayo sa ating kapwa, dapat nating pangalagaan din ang kalikasan. Hindi puro pira na lang kasi lahat ng andyan sa ganyang gawain. Experience ko yan Gawa ng, sabi nila, kailangan nating kumita para sa ating pamilya. Totoo naman yan, lahat ng kailangan ng income para ikabubuhay ng kanilang mga pamilya. Pero kung tutuusin, meron din tayong mga obligasyon tayo ang kumita. Kundi mag-iwan din tayo ng ikabubuti ng ating kapwa o sa mga susunod na henerasyon. Kung atin yan siyang express in a way na biblical, naman natin sila tinitira personal. Kundi yung pa-approach natin is holistic at saka biblical, na bawat tao sa mundo ay talagang meron siyang obligasyon na pangalagaan din ang mga yaman na binigay ng Panginoon para sa ating lahat. Kasi hindi yan binigay sa iyo lang, kundi binigay yan ng Diyos para sa ikabubuti ng sangkatauhan. But it doesn't mean na sasalawalain natin yung yaman, likas na yaman, sa mga lumad natin, ipipirma na lang yan sila ng pirma kahit na ikaw nakikita na tayo na nila. Pero sa kanila malaking bagay na yan. Ang natives natin, yung mga IPs natin na ang dali ng pera, share na lang sa kanila. Pero dapat, kasi lahat ng tao pantay-pantay, mayaman, mahirap, may pinag-aralan o wala, o ano man, lahat-lahat. Wala namang reliyon na nagtuturo na hala sige, sirain niyo yung bigay ng Diyos sa inyo. Lahat ng reliyon, ano man yung belief mo, Islam, Christian, or any groups, lahat nagsasabi, pangalagaan niyo ang bigay ng Panginoon, likas na yaman, meron kang obligasyon. Makain mo lahat, pwede mo gamitin ang lahat, but in a way na hindi naman ikakasira ng iba.
That's true.
Kasi nga, the point is, binigay yan sa atin, hindi sa iyo. Nang nangyari na mayroong kaguluhan kasi yung iba, gusto na lang, sila na lang ang lahat. Kahit na agrabyado yung iba, lalo na yung mga kapatid natin sa mga IPs natin, yung mga walang alam, hindi, yung sabi nga kanya, yung walang voiceless. No? So, dahan-dahan natin ipaalam sa kanila na every the nature, mayroong karapatan. Lahat interconnected yan lahat. Tao, hayop, kapaligiran. Pag tinanggal yung isa, apektado yung lahat-lahat. So, hindi pwede na mag-survive ang tao. Alam mo na, ipaalam natin sa bayan scientifically, the world can survive without people, without the environment. But people cannot survive actually. Pag wala yung kalikasan, patay tayong lahat. Apektado yan.
Sir Rudolph, parang
Kaya
na si Sir.
dapat ipaintindi natin sa kanila in a way, sa kakayahan nila, kung saang level nila kayang intindihin yun, doon tayo
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Sir
Sir Rudolph.
Rudolph. So I think the best word for that, no, if we are going to sum up what Sir Rudolph has said, it's all about contextualizing with the people, no, kung saan sila. Embrace their context. Embracing their context. Ayan, so we are very much near to the end of our talk this afternoon. Ms. Sharon?
Okay, so before we go, before we end our program this afternoon, I would like to ask a message from our speaker, especially how can we inspire our young generation to do something good for our environment, for environment and for sustaining peace, particularly here in Mindanao. So
Yes. If there be something that everyone should remember this afternoon, after this talk, what would that message be? Especially for our youth. Sinong mauna? Si Ima?
Okay, I think a message would be to always continue learning. I think as young as we are, right, we may not know a lot of things, but there are a lot of opportunities there waiting for you. If you aren't yet sure with your advocacies, whether that would be peace or environment or other things, right? Experience it. And I think once you experience those different things, that would help you decide on which of them would you want to focus more on. And I guess yun nga, as youth, right, hindi pa naman huli ang lahat. I think there's so much more to learn, and there's so much more to learn, and I hope you get more excited with that, because with that learning, I guess, and that passion that you have for learning and being curious about different things, I think that would also inspire even more people to, "Uy, ano ba ginagawa niya?" Right? Like that would again be a ripple effect and would influence your circle or your friends, your parents, your siblings to do something that is close to your heart. Yes.
Such is the evolution of our consciousness, no? Learn, unlearn, relearn, patuloy, patuloy. And then we expand with our awareness. Thank you, Ima. Miss Karine?
Sige. Yes, I couldn't agree more in that. My message, I think, so far would be that let us continue believing in hope, let's not give up. Let's be stubborn in continuing our engagement. It is needed to be a bit stubborn and hard-headed sometimes, but respectful. For me, I really believe in peace being possible. And what I said in the beginning, that even a small contribution within my capacities can have a big impact on some people's lives. And these people are really my inspiration. Like even now, even today, when Joanne asked me if I could join, I thought, yes, I want to join because these are those opportunities that also give me inspiration. Listening to Sir Rudolph, listening to Miss Ima, and to the host, to Miss Sharon and Sir Dale, that gives me inspiration. And I think besides having this passion, we also, when it comes to nature, as Sir Rudolph really put it very perfectly to the point, we also have a responsibility. No, we have to take care for the future generation and for ourselves as well. So let's not forget this. Let's persist. Let's encourage each other. That means we need courage, compassion, humility, and a lot of patience. And also not lose trust that this change is possible. I think it's important, again, that we don't put all the responsibility on our shoulders, because we also need to be able to take care of ourselves. Self-care is very crucial in order to also be able to care for others. If I'm not able to take care of myself, so how could I take care of others? The same with nature. It's even, again, with my own little attitude, immersing in nature to me means I have to take care of that place that is hosting me. So here, all of us, we can have this shared responsibility and encourage each other in learning on that beautiful journey, actually. Yun.
Thank you. So long as there is life, there is hope, and we should never surrender that hope, whatever is
Sakto.
happening around us. Miss
Sakto.
Sharon?
Yes. So, something that this afternoon yung pagiging stubborn, kasi we say stubborn, it's like a negative yung connotation, yung meaning niya, but stubborn in a good way, no? Let's be stubborn for the environment, no? It's stubborn for peace, no? Kasi I'm not saying na magiging magulo tayo, but stubborn meaning to push talaga, no? Yung parang maging hard-headed tayo para i-push yung ating advocacy. Yun. So
Wow,
that
we're
is
seeing a
something that I learned, no? Stubborn. Parang hindi pala lahat ng times ng stubborn negative, no? So that's something na good, the good side na magiging stubborn.
and
Ayan.
such is the positive aspect of stubbornness.
Yes.
Thank you for teaching us that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And this time, Sir Rudolph. Yes, sir. Ano pong final message natin for this talk this afternoon?
Okay. Tama nga yun si ma'am, no? Stubborn. Yun kasi yung magiging ma-level sa atin ng yung mga tao na binabangga natin. Tigas ng ulo nito. Pinapahinto na tayo. Patuloy pa rin. So, sa akin lang, consistent tayo kasi nasabi ko na sa kanina, we are looking for the welfare of the general public. Not only for the Filipinos, but to the whole world. No? Sanlibutan to eh. Kaya sabi ko nga, yung global climate crisis is not only in the Philippines. Buong mundo ito eh. So we must do our share, our part, even in a small way. Sa makayanan natin. Kasi kaya't nga isang tingting ng walis, pag samasamahin natin yan, malakas na yan. So, sa pagiging consistent natin na pag-iingay, sa term na ginagamit ni ma'am is stubbornness, katigasan ng ulo natin. Alam ko, time will come. Dahan-dahan, dadami tayo, lalakas tayo through the help of our God.
Amen.
Kasi andyan siya. Alam niya yung sa loobin natin kung ano ba yung main purpose natin sa ginagawa natin. One time, yung mga kasamahan ko sa advokasya, nag-usap-usap kami, ano bang nakain natin? Mamamatay tayo nito sa ginagawa natin. Wala tayong sahod, wala lahat. Pero masarap sa dibdib. Masarap isipin na gumagawa ka ng isang bagay na parang hindi sa'yo. Parang hindi pang sarili. Biblically, parang selflessness. No? Hindi mo tinitingnan yung pang sarili mo. Kung ano, bahala na anong mangyari, basta itong ginawa ko is para sa kabutihan ng kakarami. We admire. We as Catholic, we have so many saints, martyrs, no? Alam natin 'yan. Bakit ano ba nangyari bakit dumating sila o naging martyr sila? Dahil sa mga ginagawa nila na hindi pang sarili. Kahit nalagay na sila sa alanganin yung buhay nila, nagpapatuloy sila sa kanilang mga gawain para sa ikabubuti ng sandaigdigan. Yun, doon din kami kumuha o humugot ng lakas. Minsan nga yung pamilya, sabi pa, ihinto na natin yan. Baka madamay pa yung whole family mo. Walang problema. Basta wala tayong natatanggap nito na kahit na 5 duling. Pero masaya. Kasi alam natin na ginawa natin ito para sa Kanya. Yun na po.
Thank you, Sir Rudolph. No?
Thank you.
Very courageous, no, heart. We need talaga that courage, no, in fighting for the environment, fighting for peace. So it's so difficult to sustain peace kung wala if the environment is destroyed or nasira na yan.
True.
So talagang magulo always. So thank you for that beautiful message, Sir Rudolph. So at this point, Sir Dale, I think may
Yes.
pahabol tayo, no, for our
Pahabol?
audience. So I would like to ask the audience, no, to type in their answers in the chat box. So we prepared a few questions. So I hope you will participate and type in your answer in the chat
Yes.
box. So madali lang naman yung aming mga tanong. So we prepared 5. Madali lang ba ito, Sir Dale? I don't know.
I think so. I hope so. And for our speakers, actually, if meron kayong other meetings, it's actually okay if you're not gonna join us in the trivia. Baka meron pa kayong another meetings. But if you choose to stay, wow, we would love that. We would really, really love that. Yes po.
Yan.
So, sulti lang kung you need to leave. Okay, kasi next to this is actually our trivia questions. Diba, Miss Sharon?
Yes, Sir Dale. So ready na ba yung mga audience natin dyan sa YouTube or sa Facebook, no, for our question? And I think may pa-premyo yung ating Isfo TV, no? So they will just message, no, kung kayo yung mga nanalo. So sino yung unang nakasagot sa tanong natin, sila yung considered as winner. So first question, sir. What
Yes.
proclamation order number, proclamation order number was issued in 2001 to recognize the common aspiration of the Mindanaoans through the Mindanao Week of Peace celebration? So ano lang yung proclamation number? Proclamation or PO number? So yan. So please type in your answer. So kung ano yung unang makita ng ating Isfo TV, they will message you, no? Ayan.
Right.
So again, what proclamation order number was issued in 2001 to recognize the common aspiration of the Mindanaoans through the Mindanao Week of Peace celebration? So ayan.
Yeah. If you don't know, palaban din ta kay Google, no?
Yes, di ba? We have the internet. So pero ayan.
Yes. Paunahan to.
Paunahan, no? So, Sir Dale, what's our next question? May tatlo pa tayo.
Question number 2. What day of November does the annual celebration of the Mindanao Week of Peace start? Anong araw ng Nobyembre? Okay, yung annual celebration of the Mindanao Week of Peace. Kailan
So,
siya nag-start? Actually, if you were just observing the school calendar, if you're working in the Ateneo or if you're a student of the Ateneo, you would be able to know the answer easily.
no? So,
All right.
ano kayang sagot niyan? Pwedeng first Wednesday of November, pwedeng second Thursday of November, or last Thursday of November, or last Monday of November. So, what's your guess, no? Or if you have really the idea, please type in. So, kung sino yung mauuna dyan, we will just identify. Third question,
Yes.
no? We're about to end. Meron pa tayong, ito, pangatlo. Mindanao, ito, napakadali. Sus, ito. Gusto ko sanang sumali para masali ako sa prize. No? Mindanao is known as the blank because of its rich biodiversity and natural resources and other incredible wealth from nature, but also has dark moments of truth. So ano ba
Hmm.
yung tagline? Mindanao is
We are
known as
the...
we are the, ano kaya ang sagot, Sir Dale? Diyos ko, dali. Pwede mo appeal para appeal ko po sa premyo sa ISFO TV. So, again, Mindanao is known
Yeah.
as the blank,
Okay.
because of rich biodiversity and natural resources and other incredible wealth from nature.
Yes.
But
I could
also
see
has
some
dark.
potential right answers.
Oh
Ayan.
my
Pero bahala
God.
na ang ating staff ng ISFO to
Ay,
declare if
sir,
your answer
parang
is right.
na-remember ako nito ba? Pag every
And
time I
what do
go
you
to
remember,
Gap,
Sharon?
no? When I go to Gap, sus Gabi, I love Gap.
Ayan.
So,
Sa
ayan.
tanang nakabisita sa GAP, hinumdumi unsay
Alam
nakasulat
nila
ito.
to. Kabalo sila,
Mm.
ani, sir. Sir, na second to the last question po.
Yes. Okay. Question number 4. More than 30% of Mindanao's native species are endemic to the area. What famous bird species, also our national bird, is found in Mindanao? Kadali. No? More than 30% of Mindanao's native species are endemic to the area. What famous bird species, also our national bird, is found in Mindanao? Muntik ko nang mabasa ang
Yeah.
answer, shall we?
Ay, lagi. Please type in na po para manalo tayo. Ayan. And for our last question, ito, BARM or BARMM or BARM is an administrative region in the Philippines grouped under the Mindanao Island Group. What is the meaning of BARM? Tama ba pagka-pronounce ko, sir? BARM?
Yes.
BARMM. Uy, maghapit na ako mabasa ang answer sa... Ayan, no? Sige na, please type in your answer if you would like to win. So I think that's the
Pakabang pa kay
last
Google.
question.
Yes, and I hope you
Ayan.
enjoyed the process of answering our trivia questions. And I'm sure every question will have an answer. Kay resourceful ba ya kaya ato ang mga audience, no?
Yes. Ayan. So
Alright.
we
We
will
are
just...
waiting.
Ayan, so according to ISO TV, no, they will contact you sa mga lahat ng mga nanalo, so sa lahat ng winners. So just stand by or just wait for the message. They will message you sa mga nanalo for this afternoon quiz. So Sir Dale, we are about to end now. So
Yeah, that's sad, but we have to let go. We have to end so that we could start taking action in preserving the environment. Di ba, Miss Sharon?
yes, so I
Yes.
think we learned a lot this afternoon, and I think this forum or this platform this afternoon, yung program ng ISFO TV, help us to be aware because I believe po na we start with awareness, no, awareness and openness. Because if we have awareness, it will eventually lead us to transformation or action, no, action for peace in Mindanao, no, for the environment and for peace in Mindanao. So again,
Yes.
thank you so much to everyone po, no, who tune in this afternoon, and I hope
Yes.
you learned a lot this afternoon from our speakers.
I'm pretty sure, Miss Sharon, they have learned a lot. Very rich ang ating discussion ngayong hapon. So just to integrate everything, just to synthesize everything, from Ma'am Karine, we learned how to hope. Thank you for reminding us that hope is such a
Yes.
powerful force. And from Sir Rudolph, thank you for reminding us that prayer and grace is such a powerful force. And
Yeah.
Ima, who is not here because she has another meeting, reminded us about the power of learning, relearning, and unlearning. So
Yes.
really, it's an afternoon filled with so much empowerment. And I guess the very purpose of our gathering, our online gathering this afternoon, is for all of us to be reminded that even in our simple actions, we could actually change the world. Wherever we are, we bloom. Wherever we are, we do our best. And we'd like to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon. This has been a pleasant afternoon with all of you. Maraming salamat po. And of course, we'd like to thank our speakers, Karine, Sir Rudolph, and of course, Ima. God bless you. More power. And we wish you all the success. Sharon?
Thank you. So, yun, thank you so much for our speaker. It
Thank you,
was
thank you.